Greetings, everyone. I'm Mar. Once again, this is my opinion. As you can tell from the title up there, continuing my thoughts on the series Everybody Loves Raymond. In the last part, if you were watching these in weekly order, I covered the last episode of the entire series, the finale. Now I'm going to be covering a special that aired that same night, right before, which was like an expanded version of the first 6-year special from season 6. In that it covers some similar material, but from the standpoint of the series ending and everyone having those bittersweet feelings about the show ending. And of course covering a little bit of the filming of the final episode, mainly the fact it got delayed like I covered in the last part. And that of course is The Last Laugh. Now, the sad thing about it is I actually had to go outside the box set and outside Peacock in order to watch this because it's not on Peacock. And for whatever reason, my set, there's an error with my last disc. And I double checked it because I tried playing it both ways, but it always does not send me to the special. It sends me to the first episode on it. And just to double check, I went on to Amazon, and it seems I'm not the only one who's had issues with their discs with this set, as everyone's had various issues, so I'm hesitant about whether I'm going to get another copy of this set or not. I'll probably look into it a little bit more, see if they fixed it, because quality control, that's piss poor. If you're going to say, oh, we're going to include this, and then it turns out, it's a swerve, bro. Or I'll say the copy that I found on YouTube actually plays pretty well, so whoever got that either got it from their copy of the disc that plays well, or they managed to stream it from another source, record it, and put it on. And it's a good thing I'm doing this now because this was only put in the last couple months, so there's that. This special, I'm gonna cover one side of it and the other side. First, the side of the special that deals with this being the last episode in the last show, the show's ending. You can definitely feel the bittersweet feelings that everyone has, is that the show is ending, this part of their career is over, and now they gotta move on. They're all gonna be sad. Of course, with Rosenthal, this is basically his baby. He helped create this show with Ray. They both have some of those similar feelings, like, oh, it's going. Oh, that's gonna suck. Oh, this show's good and all that, but now we gotta go on. But you can tell their feelings are, it's better to have happened and it now being over than never to have happened. And you get that also a little bit from Brad Garrett, and Garrett does also throw in some humor in there, like he's gonna miss the parking, the free bacon. But of course, since he's a Jewish comedian, I know he threw that in there intentionally, which was fun. Of course, a little bit from Patricia Heaton, you know. Some nice little scenes of Peter Boyle in there, which, looking at this all these years later, it's a little more bittersweet to watch those parts, considering he's no longer with us, and the fact that he passed away the following year. I mean, I've tread over that territory, ad nauseum at this point, so I'm not going to go over that again. It's interesting to see that not only was the shoot of that last episode delayed, but they had the entire audience in there. They were getting ready to shoot, and then they had to cancel it. I know if I was in the audience, I'd be like, ah, crap. But they got to come back. The thing, though, that to add on to it is that it wasn't just delayed. They actually sent her to a doctor to get her shot so that to see if her voice would come back, and it didn't work. Now Ray brings up a point. I don't know what a shot here is going to fix here. Oh, excuse me, that was Phil that did that. I don't know what a shot there is going to fix there, but probably one that's supposed to help clear up whatever is causing the issue here, because it could be a cold or something that's causing the voice to be like that. And as someone who's actually lost my voice a couple times, not from overuse but from colds, to where I've actually sounded like Bale's Batman as my normal speaking voice, and even though I don't really cover my work outside of it, I've made our surveillance team almost crack up on the radio from my voice being so lost and so gravelly. It's not fun. Definitely not fun, especially when it's like that, because you don't got the proper support and you have to really spread out your breathing in order to get the vocal support for what little of your voice there is. And even though they don't touch on that, from the few moments where we see Patricia trying to do some like vocal exercises, her vocalises, to try to get her voice up, I could feel that was one of the issues she was facing. So them having to reschedule it, I really feel it. And of course some of the behind the scenes on that, with you see some of the people with the directors and all the other people that actually shoot it, where they're thinking about, okay, we're going to go through one route, we're going to go through each scene once, the dress thing, and then we're going to do the show, blah blah blah. So I guess their dress rehearsal before their curtain call, as it were. And of course seeing some of the writers like Schneider on there, I'm like, so that's the face of the guy I've been talking about all this time. He's the main writer they bring up. And of course talking about the catering and all that. So I do approach it like the season 6 episode, but instead of bringing in a lot of the outside celebrities to talk about it like that one does, this one it is strictly the cast and crew talking about it, and they cover some of the same ground about like how everybody has come up, people have come up to them and say they know somebody like Frank, or that they can't really watch a lot of the episodes because of Marie, which especially this last season, you've heard me in these episodes, I fully understand, but that is more from the fact that she has never, is that they always reset her. Although, you read enough stories on Reddit, you see there are going to be people like that, so I guess you could say it's true to life in that regard. It's just, it's a type of true to lifeness that doesn't make as much compelling television over a long period of time. And then, of course, them talking about how Brad and Ray do really have that sibling rivalry thing going, and they really do bicker like actual brothers, which I guess adds to their chemistry on screen. We cover that one, talking about them. And of course, Monica, Phil's real life wife, who plays Amy in the show, her in there, talking about her thoughts on the show in there. The only thing that I kind of miss is that we don't have the twins, and we don't have, I can't remember. We don't have Allie's actress there talking about it, which I get that they're young at this point in the show. But when this DVD came out, they were a bit older, which this one came out in 07, so it was 2 years after the show ended. They could have come up here and done it, or at least she could have, but as like an added thing to throw on the disc, but that's just me spitballing something. When this thing was actually done, I can understand why they didn't do it. And I know I haven't really covered the commentaries this one, mainly because I was watching more of the episodes through Peacock, just a little side thing, but they do have a lot of people who are doing commentaries on here, and then the blooper reel and all that. And I can tell you that a lot of the emotions and stuff that they are expressing in this episode, this little thing, that's how I'm feeling now that my review series of this show is over. I mean, there have been times where it's felt more like a burden. It's something I've actually enjoyed, mainly when the episodes that I've been dreading have been coming up, or the parts of it, like, I mean, season 9 I was really looking forward to, but then there were parts of it I'm like, oh, I'm going to dread this part. Then episodes I'm like, oh, I don't know if I'm going to really like covering that one, but I got to it, and sometimes I've been pleasantly surprised, other times, I was like, yeah. And then, of course, for that one, season 6, my only full-on rant episode. It's just one of those things that even with everything, I would not have changed my decision to review this series back in 2000 for anything. If anything, I might have started the review series earlier, like maybe started in 2019 instead. Maybe try to push through it when I was at my lowest, because that's one thing that I could say this show has helped me. It's actually helped with my grief recovery process in the last year from my other grandmother passing away, and of course being out on my own for the most part and all that. So it has been therapy that you guys have just been there to sit and watch, even though there have been some people on here who have been rude about it, who obviously cannot read where it says reviews. I'm sure those of you who've been constantly watching this review series can please say that you guys have been my rock when it comes to the audience with this, but you could safely look at it and say, yeah, that says reviews. Which I can tell you, I click on videos sometimes without fully reading it, but I don't leave nasty comments. That's because I'm like, oh, that was my mistake. These people are the ones that are like, oh, fuck them. But that's why I do appreciate when I see the nice comments from y'all on there to go on there. There's not really much else to say about this special now. I know I'm rambling on a little bit with it. I mean, it's a 40-minute special, but that's really all there is to say about it. It is a nice send off for the show, and it's a nice way to lead into the finale. If I had actually planned these last couple a little bit better, I probably would have done this one, then the finale, then the next one. But these are little add-ons after it. And that's really all there is to say about this. So next, we are going to get the VHS list that I have talked about ad nauseum, which of course, thanks to the magic of editing, it's already up. It's already on the channel, just waiting to go live, because I've already, as I'm recording this, I've already recorded and edited that, because I did that back to back with the finale, because that was the easier way to do this. Well, until next time, everybody.